The Zoomerwaffen are a bunch of just retarded homosexual children. And you got dipshits over here like this David J. Riley person who is, much bigger than me on X, but whatever. Um, you know, I'm very much punching up here, but like I'm not scared of the Zoomerwaffen. I'm not worried about the Zoomerwaffen. We shouldn't just completely dismiss them out of hand, but this idea that like Zoomers are gonna like really step up and become like a serious political force, like no, they're not. These children are retarded. These people are dumb, genuinely dumb people. I work with a lot of Zoomers in my job, my day job, and they're stupid. These fucking kids can't order their own food at restaurants. All right, I work with a Zoomer. He's 22 years old. Genuinely one of the dumbest people I've ever met in my life. Genuinely stupid. I don't understand how the guy has made it to where he is, because it's not even like he's a good-looking 22-year-old. He's kind of a fucking schlub. So am I, but like, the point is that like you've got like these people are dumb. They have they have really poor social skills, and like a full quarter of them are fucking gay or trans. And I'm supposed to believe that because you have, you know, because you have like Nick Fuentes and fucking Clavicular out here, you know, just acting like retards. I'm supposed to believe that like this is they're, these people aren't going to be a serious force. They don't have a serious thought in their heads. And that's what I said about this Clavicular guy he's been around for a while apparently, but like he's recently kind of blown up. He recently got interviewed by Michael Knowles. And there's a clip down here, and this is what I said about him on X. This guy talks slowly. His words are kind of slurred. This guy isn't serious. He's stupid, brain rotted, and has likely never had any serious challenge in his life. The Zoomers will accomplish nothing. Most of them are dumb, and a quarter of them are gay and trans, and that's true. He's 19 years old. He smokes meth. He's on TRT. All he does is work out. Like, that's it. He's never thought about politics. He doesn't know anything about politics. He's like, oh, I only care about Gavin Newsom because he's handsome. Okay, first of all, gay. Second, like, then okay, fine. Do you know anything about Gavin Newsom's record as governor of California? Do you know how much he's increased, California's, budget deficit? Do you know how much? Do you know how bad homelessness is in California under his tenure? How much homelessness has gotten worse under his tenure? How many fentanyl deaths have increased during his tenure as California governor? How much damage was caused by the California wildfires? How bad was his response to these things? Have you ever been to San Francisco with the human shit and fentanyl junkies on the street, and you're going to tell me that this guy is a better suited political candidate than J.D. Vance because he's better looking? He's genuinely dumb. He has no idea what he's talking about. The only thing he's ever given a shit about to research at all is fitness. And even then, he takes the most, he does the most ass thing you could possibly do, which is go, I need the looks max. I don't want my face to get too puffy, so I'm going to smoke meth so that my face stays sunken in. But I'm also going to do TRT. This stupid motherfucker's been on TRT since he was 14. Genuinely dumb shit. But yeah, let's just watch this clip. Let's up the speed though to 1.25.
This next election cycle, who's going to win? It's going to be Gavin Newsom against J.D. Vance because J.D. Vance is subhuman and Gavin Newsom mugs.
J.D. Vance is subhuman?
Yeah.
What makes you say that?
He's got a very short total facial width to height ratio. He's obese, very recessed side profile, whereas Newsom is like...
Okay, J.D. Vance is not the most fit man I've ever seen in my life, but he is not obese. He's not.
6'3" Chad.
So JD's very tall. JD's got to be.
Well, still,
6'3".
Gavin Newsom obviously mogs him to death.
So you're a Newsom head. You prefer Newsom to the vice president.
I'm just telling you who's going to win.
Do you prefer him
though? Honestly, it's hard to say, but Newsom.
He doesn't know because he doesn't know anything about the candidates because he's fucking retarded. He can't be bothered to actually read about any of this shit.
Him being that much more of a mogger, and like having a president who's like fat and especially that young.
Do you think he's? I don't think he's fat.
I would say
he's a bigger guy for sure.
He's just like, it's just embarrassing. Like, how are you fat and you expect to like lead a country? You can't even be in shape, you know?
So you let's say you got to vote. It's 2028.
I'm voting for Gavin Newsom.
You're voting for Gavin Newsom.
You can't be that subhuman.
So hold on. You got all right. Well,
assuming he even actually goes and votes. I don't know where Clavicular lives, but if he lives in California, then California was going to go for Newsom anyway, so his vote doesn't really matter. Not in the grand scheme of things. Really depends on what state he lives in. But I'm gonna vote for Gavin Newsom because, like I said, listen to him talk. Like even at like 1.25 times speed, he still is all slow. Like he slow talks and he's slurred because he's fucking dumb. He has no, he can't. See, here I am sounding fucking stupid. But that's because like I think faster than I can speak. So like I think of a thing and I want to say it, but then as I'm going to say it, I think of something else and it gets kind of jumbled in my head. But I've been told I talk fast. It's then you're kind of the opposite version of that with like Caleb Hammer in that clip recently where he says he talks faster than he thinks. Now I think faster than I speak. But even then I've been told I talk too quickly. Like listen to this guy talk and then listen to say, and I know a lot of you are going to hate to hear this, but listen to this fucking idiot talk and then listen to Ben Shapiro talk. You know what I mean? He even at 1.25 times speed, he can't properly articulate his thoughts in any, like he has to stop and ponder every single thing. And then even then, like he doesn't know anything. He doesn't, outside of fitness, he doesn't know anything about anything. He doesn't know shit for dick about anything at all. And I'm supposed to believe that this guy is, a serious threat politically.
Well, this actually is of a thread with the whole conversation because you look at these two candidates. You have Gavin Newsom, worst governor in the country. I think we would all agree, destroyed his state, let its main city burn to the ground because of his incompetence, is a personal, complete derelict, liar, degenerate. But he is good looking. I'll grant you that he's good looking. Yep. And kind of looks like Patrick Bateman, American Psycho. Hey. And then you have this vice president to President Trump, the transformative right-wing president in our lifetimes, who, do you support Trump or no?
Yeah.
Okay. So you got this.
See, this guy, he has no like internal consistency. A president can't be fat. I like Donald Trump, but the dude is a bit of a schlub. He's been gaining weight consistently since the late 80s. He's a bit of a fucking schlub. So you support Trump, even though he's fatter than J.D. Vance, but J.D. Vance is too fat. Like, there's no internal consistency. The guy's retarded. Beyond retarded. He's retard maxing. That's what he does. He's not looks maxing, he's retard maxing.
This vice president, handpicked by Trump, who is extremely intelligent, very right-wing. I think he's a pretty good-looking guy. I don't know, maybe I guess you disagree. But he's all these things, checks all these boxes, would have all these great policies. And regardless, you're going to pick the pro-mass migrant, pro-trans, pro-murder the babies, pro-burn the cities to the ground, pro-BLM Democrat because he's skinnier than the conservative vice president.
100 times over. J.D. Vance, would he be a better candidate and probably closer to me in terms of policy than Gavin Newsom? Yes, but he's just not going to be good enough to be deserving. I think the right has kind of let down the voters for the longest time. So I think I don't really think that right-wingers should just give support to these jesters who continue to underdeliver on their promises. Just let the Democrats win. That's kind of what I'm talking about in terms of just like why I don't support Vance as a voter. But
so you're saying no, they shouldn't vote for any Republican. The right-wingers should not vote for the Republican.
Not until the right actually wants to do the things that they're promising.
So is there a candidate you would prefer? I assume you don't actually want to vote for Newsom. Maybe you do. Maybe you are a Democrat. No. Okay. So then who's a right-winger you want to vote for? Or maybe there isn't one.
No, yeah, there really isn't one.
It's not that there isn't one. There are more extreme right-wingers in the country. You don't know any of them. You only know J.D. Vance and Donald Trump and maybe like Ted Cruz and Thomas, like the big names. Because you get all of this through osmosis because they're just part of the cultural zeitgeist. He doesn't know anything. Or maybe he just thinks they're all too ugly. I support Trump, but I don't support Vance, who's further to the right than Trump is. 2 million illegals, another million of self-deportations. Yeah, they're the Trump administration right-wingers. They're not delivering. So what are we going to do? Just give the country to the Democrats. This acceleration, this doomer black pill bullshit. This is the moral equivalent to say you hired a guy to mow your lawn, and he mowed it, but he didn't weed eat along the fence line, so your response is to just burn the fucking house down. Absolute retarded nonsense.
It's kind of doomer, isn't it? So now you're saying if you're a real hardcore Giga Chad right-winger, you should let the Democrats rape your country.
Well, yeah, you kind of have to. Like, that's the accelerationist mentality. Because, like, look, what is the right going to do other than just like a small win here and like, maybe overturn Roe v. Wade on like a federal level, but abortion is still allowed, like state to state. So it's like it really doesn't do anything. It's like if these people are just going to like continue.
Maybe you deport 2 million people. Maybe.
Okay.
This cunt does not give a shit about abortion. He doesn't. And if he got some girl pregnant, he'd probably try to convince her. Now, I'm speculating here, but I imagine he got a girl pregnant, he'd probably be all like, oh, let's go to the clinic, baby.
But there's still 28 million more, right? So until these people actually want to make changes that matter, right?
I think 2 million people matters. I think...
does it in a country of how many people? Like, what are we...
330 million or so.
Exactly. So
see, off the top of his head, he didn't even know. I knew that. What's the population of the United... Like, I just heard Michael Knowles say, so this doesn't necessarily prove anything, but if you'd asked me what's the population of the United States, I said 330 million people. He doesn't know anything. He knows nothing. He's completely out of his fucking depth. Okay, fine. I'm sorry that Donald Trump got into office, a year ago, and in 1 year, he's only managed to get rid of 3 million immigrants. I'm sorry that Donald Trump didn't sit behind the Resolute desk and just, open up the little, plastic clamshell thing that had the fix everything button and he didn't press it. He could have. There's the fix everything button that if you hit it, it takes us, rolls the clock back to 1950s America. And Donald Trump is just sitting behind the desk going, I'm not going to touch the button. I won't do it. Like, it is so retarded. It's like, oh, Donald Trump sucks. He's not deporting enough people. How many people, if he deports, 2 million. Now, we're not even talking about self-deportations. Let's just take that million self-deportations. Let's take that off the table. If he can match that, 2 million a year, by the time you get to 2028, that's 8 million illegals that have been deported. You also, he doesn't take into account that, a lot of his deportation, attempts at deportation have been stopped by, left-wing activist judges. We can't get Kilmar Abrego Garcia out of the country because judges keep overturning things. It's not as simple as press the fucking fix everything button and everything gets fixed. Just retarded nonsense.
So it's like, this is, we're not really making any progress here. So for the RNC to just demand voters to continue to show up, for what, really? It's just, that's the cope, right? That's what I'm simply advocating for, until the policies change and the rhetoric is a little better.
How would the policies change? This is what I'm confused about, is had a Democrat won, it just used this past year, had a Democrat won, it just used this past year, had a Democrat won, we would get, just judging by Biden's policies, it was Biden's vice president was running, you would add 3 million illegal aliens to the country. Mm-hmm. Because Trump won, not only do you not add 3 million, you lose 2 million. So now you have a net change of 5 million potential foreigners who would be in the United States over the course of 1 year. And you're saying, yeah, it's not good enough. Sorry, Brett.
It's not. It really is not good enough.
So what are you doing?
What am I doing?
Yeah.
I'm realizing that society is going one direction, and I'm trying to improve myself as much as possible so that I can succeed financially, so that I can improve my status and improve my quality of life.
But what's very interesting about it is by saying, look, not only am I apathetic, I want the Democrats to win because they're going to be bad, because they're going to screw up the country, and then we'll have a revolution, it'll be good again.
Right.
What's interesting about that to me is it reflects something quite real and I think quite understandable, which is the alienation, especially among young men, especially among young right-wing men, from the country that at a very high levels in popular media and government has told that group of people that they suck for 30 years. Mm-hmm. That I totally resonate with. So how widespread do you think that alienation is?
I would say that the reason that I have the success I do is because it's almost in every kid my age who in the same demographic, as people are tired of being banned on social media. People are tired of...
You're not banned! You're a successful streamer on Kick! You have an entire, like, legion of fans who are paying for your stupid fucking lifestyle. Jesus, it's the same thing. It's all like, we're not allowed to talk about the Jews. But all you do is talk about the Jews, and you're more successful now than ever. It doesn't make any sense. It's bullshit. It's completely, like, an opposite of what we're actually seeing in the objective world. We're tired of being banned on social media. Okay, but you're not banned on social media. At one point we were, but that has changed now. It's so stupid.
Being called toxic.
Right. The government not advocating for them whatsoever. So I would say that it's probably more common than not.
JD Vance, just, a week and a half ago, in this country, we no longer have to apologize for being white. He is saying the things you want him to say. He's gearing up to do the things you would want him to do. But you don't know that because you're retarded, Clav. You are a genuinely retarded person. You're a fucking autistic Zoomer. 5 years ago, what is it? 2020, he would have been he's 19 right now. He would have been 14 years old. Which means he would have been he would have been like 14 years old during COVID. He probably was already kind of fucking on the spectrum anyway, and then he got fucked up by, a year worth of lockdowns, again, depending on where he lives. If he lived in, like, Kentucky or Florida, it might not have been so bad for him. But yeah, no, people, like, Jesus, this guy's so fucking stupid. But anyway, I'll have the link to the full Michael Knowles interview down in the description if you want to watch the whole thing. He is so. I seriously think Clavicular is a stupid person. He's not just burnt out. He's not just black-pilled. He's actually dumb. He's actually stupid. What little, like intellectual capacity he had, he spent all of it on fitness stuff, and he knows nothing about anything else. He's a genuinely stupid person. Well, shout out to Patrick CC, because he's got a little bit more on this guy. And you'll see. Like, when the whole thing about him smoking meth, first of all, he admits to doing meth in the Michael Knowles interview, but, like, it'll cover it here. Like I said, shout out to Patrick CC, The Pathetic Life of an Internet Alpha Male. Cringe title. Like, few of these guys ever refer to themselves as alpha males, but they are all pretty cringe. Yeah, we're going to watch the little clavicular part of the video.
Other internet alpha males take their insecurities even further, like Clavicular, the teenage gym bro who literally does meth to maintain his appearance. Most internet alphas tend to focus on the importance of financial enrichment and physical prowess. But let's be honest, the reason why young men want to improve themselves a lot of the times is to get girls. 19-year-old Braden Peters, aka Clavicular, has leaned into this particular aspect of self-improvement, promoting what many refer to as looks-maxing. Looks-maxing aims to improve one's appearance to its ultimate potential. This can involve very harmless acts like getting a good haircut and having a skincare routine or dressing well. However, individuals like Clavicular take it to a much more extreme level. He promotes a plethora of different methods to improve your looks that are extremely dangerous, such as bone smashing.
I've been bone smashing for about 2 years, and I have gotten improvements. I used to have flat zygos pretty much, but bone smash for about 2 years from this point, pretty much every day consistently, and now I'm got some tissue.
As insane as doing something like this is, it pales in comparison to the other advice he gives, like the usage of literal meth to keep his face slim.
Yeah, he, hits himself in the face with a heavy object in order to, that is like the facial equivalent to jelqing. If you don't know what jelqing is, look it up. It's completely fucking fake. It doesn't work. This guy is a genuine clown, actual clown. The Clown World Chronicles is what I call the channel anyway.
Essentially doing math for hollow cheeks, guys. I just to come clean and let you know what I was doing.
And this is only one of the many various substances he uses to match.
Now, I'm sure at some point he'll turn around, he'll do, the Nick Fuentes thing, and he'll say something like that, and he maintains it every time he's asked about it, at least every time that I've seen, that yes, he does meth to hollow out his face, but he'll probably come out and say later, guys, I never did meth, I was being ironic, it was all part of the bit. I don't believe him. Because that's what Fuentes does. He says something, he acts super gay all the time, and then every time he's pressed on it, he's just all like, I'm being ironic, bro. Nah, bullshit.
maximize his appearance, such as minoxidil for hair growth, Accutane for clear skin, and of course, testosterone injections for extra gains in the gym. Substances that will likely cause immense problems for him later in the future.
People are asking, are you going to be infertile? Do you worry about having children?
So right now, I am infertile.
But he does this for one simple reason. Clavicular believes that your appearance is everything, and that the more attractive you are, the better your life will be. He takes this mentality so far that he views getting a $35,000 jaw surgery as an investment that will pay itself off.
I'm really just talking about a purely logical return on investment.
He's a good-looking kid. His jawline is fine. He doesn't need a jaw surgery. Now, if he actually does get this jaw surgery, and it's not just part of the bit, if he actually does get it, then he is the sort of anti-trans in the sense that, like, rather than having like body dysphoria or body dysmorphia, I can't remember the exact term, but rather, they have, that kind of, body dysphoria where there's a disconnection between the mind and the body. They see themselves as, the opposite sex. So they use, chemical and surgical intervention in order to make themselves present more as the opposite sex. This is that in the reverse. He knows he's male, and he wants to look so male that he's going to wreck his health and destroy his face. I hope he doesn't do it. I really hope he doesn't. But like, if he does, then just he's not looks maxing, he's retard maxing.
Myself, I'm like, well, what am I? My face, I am a social media influencer, right? So if I spend this amount of money on a double jaw surgery, right, it's going to cost me about 30 grand to do the surgery. Will this pay itself off if all goes well? And I'm saying overwhelmingly yes.
Through his personal coaching program, he sells young, insecure men on the hope that they can one day surpass their...
Because every guy in his position has a coaching program where you have to pay him to give you advice that you could get for free from other influencers.
Genetic limits, which he refers to as ascending. This course includes things like a full facial analysis, a full-blown gym routine.
Call it ascending, which is like a kind of spiritual, quasi-religious terminology, which is often used, in this kind of like culty aspect of the, the kind of scummier sections of the manosphere. I'm going to have to take back a lot of the things that I said about Rollo Tomasi over the years. I've been really critical of him. I was a fan when I first discovered him, and then his feud with Pearl, I kind of took Pearl's side. And now I'm kind of like sick of Pearl. Like, I don't hate her. I'm not like walking back all the times I've defended her against people, and I'm not suddenly saying that everything Pearl ever did that I used to defend is now bad. But like, I'm just kind of she's gone in a direction that I just don't care to continue to patronize her over it. Specifically, she's on Clavicular side, and she's talking about how he's out here mogging everybody and exposing, conservatives, and like, no, like, she's at this point, she's just siding with, she's constantly filleting Nick Fuentes, and I'm just tired of it, right? At this point, it's like, if like fellation of Fuentes is detected, then your opinion is rejected with me. I'm getting really close to that. Like, I still have some friends who like him, but like, I'm getting to this point with him. But like, Rollo at the very least has never, like, he sells books, but he doesn't sell advice courses. Like, you can watch Rollo streams, and he'll straight up tell you the stuff that's in his books. He'll just give it to you for free. You can watch streams, and he'll be like, "Yo, buy the book. It's much more buy the books. I can't remember how many it is. I think it's 5 Rational Male books. It's like, buy the books. It's much more concise. I got all the charts, all the data. I got everything in there." But you can just go to Rollo's channel and just watch his streams and get, all of, at least he's giving it away for free, basically. He's actually out here seemingly trying to help people. Whereas, Clavicular is selling it to, impressionable young men and promising them that they'll ascend to a higher level. It's bullshit. It's culty, just retarded bullshit.
and a list of different supplements to help improve your image. The only problem is this does not sound like an effective way to remedy someone's insecurities. In fact, these things have only the potential to make them worse. Clavicular uses his own ascension as a testimonial that his system of looks maxing truly works, although many have taken note of the fact that most of his physical improvements are simply the byproduct of growing up. Before versus before. It really just looks like 2 years of puberty. Bro grew up. The reality is that Clavicular
Yeah, like some of those earlier images are for him when he was like 14 and 15 years old, and now here he is at 19. 5 years later, puberty settled in, his bone structure lengthened, and he worked out a lot. Like he just grew up. He wasn't ugly, like he was a child. But he wants to convince people that, like, no, I did this because I smoked meth and took TRT when I was 14. No, you grew up. I mean, that definitely has something to do with it, but and by his own admission, it's wrecking his health. He's infertile, or he's sterile right now. He said infertile, but again, that's because he's retarded and he doesn't know the proper terminology. Women are infertile, men are sterile. He's, by his own admission, he's sterile right now. He's probably shortened his lifespan by a few years, and it's only going to get worse as time goes on. He's going to wreck his face with a plastic surgery that he doesn't need. And I'm supposed to believe that this guy is a serious political thinker.
is completely delusional, but in an ironic sense, he is undoubtedly the most honest person in this entire video, as he is extremely aware of the negative ramifications of his usage.
Wait, why are you infertile right now?
Just like a negative feedback loop when you're not needing to produce testosterone anymore because your body realizes, okay, we're getting it from an exogenous.
So you're not producing
source.
any testosterone naturally?
No.
None?
No.
Oh, I'm not taking TRT, bro.
How do you think it works? You just don't, your body realizes we're at a certain level we don't need anymore, so it stops reducing it.
The reason why he is on this journey is because he believes that he is genetically disadvantaged and has only made himself ascend to a slightly above average appearance.
These people, these looks max creators, we're all genetically gifted. They don't really understand, how it is to grow up not exactly good looking. People are placing me high tier normie as a little bit above average, between a 6 to a 6.5 on an actual decile scale that makes sense.
According to Clavicular himself, both of his parents are bodybuilders, and he began taking testosterone at only 14 years old to achieve a larger physique. So it's likely that from a young age he derived self-worth from physical appearance and has developed extremely severe body and facial dysmorphia as a result.
I was on a little bit of everything, to be honest, growing up. Test at 14.
How do you even get testosterone at 14?
I just ordered it on the internet.
He has even directly acknowledged that he is actively shortening his lifespan for the sake of looks.
It is very likely that some of my lifespan will be diminished with the things that I'm doing. I don't believe that's from some of the steroids, but maybe some of the recreational drugs in conjunction with the steroids. So that's a very real possibility.
As sad as this is, it does not absolve him from personal responsibility. His program currently has over 1.4 thousand active members, each paying $50 a month to take part. This coaching program has grown exponentially in recent weeks, most notably because of a viral clip of him injecting fat-dissolving peptides into his 17-year-old girlfriend's face on stream. Other clips show him casually picking...
So, yeah, I'm at, like, a 2-year age gap, 19, 17. That doesn't really bother me too much. Like, it's like, oh, he's an adult with I don't really care about that part. But, like, he's got this young, impressionable teenage girl, and he's, like, injecting her face with chemicals. That's fucking wrong. You are not a doctor, you stupid piece of shit. You're too stupid to be a doctor. Hell, I wouldn't fucking trust you to lay brick because you're fucking retarded.
Picking up girls and even criticizing their facial flaws while meeting them.
Oh, yeah, so you have like a recessed maxilla, so I can't. And, like your upper jaw? It's just a little recessed, so I can't. I mean, you know what I mean?
Are you looking at me? I don't know what that means.
I'm trying to could you explain to me what
I don't know.
Yeah, it's just like a developmental flaw. It's no worries.
Clips like these only feed into the persona that Clavicular is trying to create,
He's
where he is
nagging.
an unstoppable and irresistible specimen who has achieved his power through looks maxing. And it's working, because his audience nor his customers see him as deeply insecure. And he continues to take advantage of his impressionable audience, much like Marquette Burton, who has created an entire red pill
Okay, yeah, he moves on to the video about, the saint and the sinner, Marquette Burton, another fucking internet fagoid who I absolutely fucking despise. But no, seriously, I'll leave the link to this video, The Pathetic Life of an Internet Alpha Male, by Patrick CC. It's a pretty good video. It covers like Satan, obviously Clavicular, but he also covers like Liver King and King Azulay and Wes Watson. Who else? Mike Israetel. Dr. Mike isn't that bad. Like, he goes into Dr. Mike, and I don't think I think he's a little hard on Dr. Mike in this one. Dr. Mike Israetel doesn't bother me nearly as much as like other people do. But again, like, I fucking hate Saint in the Sinner. I hate him. Like of all the people in this video, I probably hate Satan the Sinner more than I hate any of the other ones. I hate everybody that this video covers, but I really hate Satan the Sinner. But I'm not going to go into that. But yeah, no, Clavicular and Nick Fuentes and the Groip Fags, like none of them are serious thinkers. A lot of them are hypocrites. A lot of them aren't even Americans. A lot of them aren't even white. That got outed whenever a lot of the Groiper sock accounts got outed as being from Pakistan and India and Middle East and just all over the place. Thank you, Elon, for that feature on X. Then recently, I can't remember his name, but another Groiper general got outed as a homosexual who would cross-dressed and post pictures of himself with a little pink halter top thingy on that said Internet Princess or something like that. That's the thing. All these Groipers, all these guys, they're all gay. At the end of the day, they're all gay. They're all brown. They're all not American. Some of them are Americans, but it's just they're either gay or not white or not American or some combination of those three things. But they're trying to pass himself off as this hardcore America first white bro, fucking movement whenever the actual white people in the movement seem to be a minority. The actual heterosexuals in the movement seem to be the minority. But it's all a big fucking fraud. It's all a big psyop. So yeah, I'm over it. And like I said, these people are not serious political actors, and I don't think they're going to be a serious threat. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't take them seriously. We shouldn't take the time to point them out, laugh at them, ridicule them, belittle them, and when possible, debate them and expose them for the intellectual fucking frauds that they are. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Be sure to sub if you're not subbed and like the video. Follow all my links. Do all that stuff, all that algorithm stuff for me. And then, of course, as always, throw me a bottle of TRT.